Hello YouTube, and welcome to a Minecraft mod spotlight on a mod called TSON Craft. This is a mod that is made by me. That's right, it's doing a spotlight on my own mod to go on the page. And it adds a whole bunch of stuff. For example, using JEI here to show me all the stuff in it, you can see that there is a lot of things over here, which we can get into. So without further ado, let's just go through some very basic stuff. So the main point of TSON Craft, so if I quickly punch out a log here, just to show you what the main point is that you can't make a crafting table very easily. That's right, TSON Craft changes the recipe for a crafting table. So you might be wondering, how am I supposed to get tools? Well, the way you do that, in fact, is to use these pieces up here. So let's say for a pickaxe, we need a piece of string. Sorry about that, JEI is doing some weird thing with the recipe there. It's not actually telling me the name. Piece of string, 2 sticks, and a plank of... So you might be thinking, how do I get string without killing spiders? Because, I don't really want to wait till the first night to get my tools. And obviously a sword also requires string. So what you do is you take 3 sticks and you make some wooden shears. And then you can break leaves with these. And then if you take 4 leaves like that, it makes a piece of string. So now we can make a pickaxe. I think this was the recipe. Yes. So then to make the pickaxe using this, you just put a stick with it, like so. That makes a wooden pickaxe. So let's get some more string here, because we're going to want to make a stone pickaxe now, aren't we? Oh, you've got a sapling as well. So obviously to make a stone pickaxe is a little bit different, because obviously you can't make sticks out of stone. Well, actually you can, because I added that. 2 pieces of cobblestone makes 4 sticks. Yep, 4 cobblestone sticks, and I think the recipe for a pickaxe is in fact actually the opposite of the wooden one. So you need 2 pieces of cobblestone and 1 stick for this, as well as 3 string, as well as a string. So make a string, a stick at the top, and 2 of these, and then you just put that with a stick to make the stone pickaxe. And there you go. And so that's the same for stone and wood tools, but iron and gold and diamond tools actually require slime balls in order to get. Now, there isn't a recipe for slime balls that I've added, so JEI isn't showing anything other than other mods doing things. So slime balls actually require you killing slimes. So if you want iron tools or above, you need to get slime. But enough about that. So another game mechanic that exists within TSON Craft is these things, metallic blends and ready glass. So yes, I mentioned iron. If you can't get a furnace, you might be thinking, how am I supposed to get iron without a furnace? Well, a metallic blend here. You take an iron ore, a torch, a flint, and a TNT to make 1 metallic blend. And TNT, I've given a new recipe of 2 gunpowder, 1 string, and 1 ready glass. And ready glass is 2 pieces of clay and 2 pieces of sand. So the way that these work, and this is the gold one, which uses a redstone torch, so you need iron first to get that, obviously. But so the way these work is you right-click onto a lava source block, so there, and it'll sort of pop out next to you, the result item. In fact, JEI tells you here, TSON Magic Crafting. I'll click on block directly under lava source block with ready glass, collect the glass. So this, because of the way that it works, you can actually do something like this. So you can hold your lava like that and right click on this block. And metallic blend is the same, TSON Magic Crafting. Simply the same thing, get iron and get out of it. And the gold is the same as that. So anyway, so you might be thinking, well, okay, you've got to get a crafting table eventually. So how would I do that? Well, if I look at this, crafting table, so that's the way of making a crafting table added by TSON Craft, which obviously will require a crafting table to make. The other way of doing it that is built in is this one here, requiring a book of knowledge and a wood catalyst. And a wood catalyst is 4 logs. And the book of knowledge is these things, which are known as cave dusts, in a book. And you can make a book using this recipe, obviously. Paper, obviously, like that, sugarcane. So you might be thinking, how do I get cave dusts then? Because I understand how to make a book and all that stuff, but these are different. So those are more interesting. this is where we actually start to do stuff. So first of all, you need to make something called a cave cauldron, which requires slime ball, 2 pieces of redstone, 2 buckets, 2 pieces of iron. The bucket can be made 2 metallic blend, iron type, and 2 iron. So you make a cave cauldron, and what you want to do is right-click it with a bottle of water. And that will fill it with water. Then you want to right-click it with seeds, and that will turn it green, to say that it's now got green essence in there. So if I then take that out with a bottle, I now have a bottle of nature essence. So that explains the green one to some degree. So the next thing you need is a cave evaporator, which requires another cauldron, which you know the recipe for now. Redstone, iron, slime ball. Now, of course, this one is a bit different. So you pop this down, and the way this works is you right-click on it with your bottle of cave essence, and it'll produce a bottle again and some cave dust. So we know how to make the green dust now. But how do we make the blue and the purple dust? Well, the answer is simply you have to go to the nether in order to get netherrack. You can go to the end in order to get endstone, or you can use this recipe, which requires 3 ender pearls and a coalstone, which is 1 endstone. So the way this works is you place down a netherrack there, or anywhere really, doesn't really matter where it is, and then you place a normal cave cauldron on top of them. Then you right click with an empty hand on these, and it will upgrade them, and then these can be moved around wherever you want them to be after that point. You can pick up your pieces and so on, but we'll just put them back where they were for now, doesn't really matter. So for the blue dust, you take the nether cauldron, you put a bucket of lava in, and then you follow that with a piece of glowstone. Take your bottle, give your blue bottle of essence, light it's called. There goes the blue cave dust. And for the end one here, you need a bottle of end water, which is ended by me. It requires TNT, which you know the recipe for, a bottle of water, redstone torch, and an ender pearl. And of course you get that from Enderman. So you right click that on there, and then you follow it with a blaze rod. And then you use a glass bottle to collect that, and then you bring it back to your cave evaporator to get the dust. So that's how you get the dusts. And they have a few uses in a few of the things in the mod, such as these energy nodes, a few other things. Seems to have... That's weird. Okay. Sometimes the words are working, sometimes they're not. It's a strange one. I don't know what's up with that. So yes, if you've used a few things, including these things here, which are actually the cave chests, which, as you may have noticed, this only has 1 row in it. That's because it doesn't need a crafting table to make, because you make it just using a 2 wood catalysts, seed, and some seeds, makes 4 of these. And the blue one requires 2 wood catalysts, and light makes 4. It's got a bit bigger, as you can see. And the purple one is even bigger than that, and requires purple dust. That's pretty big. And of course, there's a normal chest here. This is some of the decorative blocks in TSON Craft, including purple matter block and dark matter block. Purple matter and dark matter are 2 things that exist that are supposed to be higher tier tools than diamond, or yeah, so basically higher tier tools than diamond, especially purple matter, which is the upgraded version of dark matter. So yeah, so we can pick this up. So they can be broken with your hand quite quickly as well, which is nice. Most things in TSON Craft, you can just sort of punch once and they'll be picked up. Though cosmetic blocks such as bricks and things, these can, but these ones you punch and they'll break slowly. Well, a little bit slower than glass. These ones you can pick up instantly, as you've seen. So the next part of TSON Craft, now that we have our dusts, would be to make a crafting table. But once you've got your crafting table, you can move on to more interesting things within the mod. So another thing added by TSON Craft is world gen. So TSON Craft adds ores, tin and copper, which require a stone pickaxe to mine. It also adds a couple of other ores. Let's see, we have silver, which is here, lead and aluminium, which is these ones. I'll show you those in a second, right now. So that's silver, that's lead, and that's aluminium. So these ones look different to vanilla ones, and these are just retextured vanilla ones. Well, recolored vanilla. ores. These require you to mine with a stone pickaxe. Actually, sorry, these ones require an iron pickaxe, these 3, and these can be mined with a stone pickaxe. So if I try and break this one with a stone pickaxe, it won't drop. Yeah. So that's those. So the next thing in the mod probably would be the transmutation table. Yes, this is something that exists in the mod. So you may have noticed all these items have a tooltip on them that says energy value. Well, not all of them do. Sorry, all of them have that tooltip. So most of them say 0 on it. Quite a lot of them have numbers though. So if I go into Minecraft, just seeing only Minecraft things, you'll see that most of the items here have an EMC value or energy value. It's based off equivalent exchange where it was called EMC and things like that. So that's why I may refer to it as EMC occasionally. So if we pop down the transmutation tablet, you'll notice there's this one face that looks like that. If I grab my cave wrench and I use the tooltip, which is secondary effects from Cavecraft, labeled as Z for me, that's the default. You hold that and right click on the table. It will actually rotate to face the direction that you clicked on. And it will say in chat. It also doesn't spam the log, so if I press this multiple times, you'll see it only uses that much in chat. You can also right click on it again just to view how much energy is in there with the wrench. So how does this work? Well, essentially what happens is, I'll put that over there and that there. So let's say stone, right? It has an energy value of 1. And we look at wood, it has an energy value of 4. So I want to turn this stone into wood. How would I do that? Well, what you do is you right click on this, and you'll see each time I right click on it, it consumed 1 of my stone, and it gave 1 energy into the transmutation table. So if I put 4 in, I now have 4 energy. And so you might be thinking, okay, so how do I get the energy out? So what you do is you hold your secondary effect key, which is Z by default, and then you right click with the item you want to make. If there's enough energy, it will make one. If there isn't, then it won't. So there we go. It made a second piece of wood, because it had 4 energy in there, and the energy value of wood is 4. So, and now you can see the energy in there is 0. So if I now put the wood back in, let's say I wanted to make this cobblestone in my inventory, then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can't make any more, as you can see. So that's pretty cool. It's not really, you can't really automate it, which is useful in a way, because one of the things that people always complained about with things like Equivalent Exchange and now Project E is that you could automate it, and that meant that it was overpowered to some degree, and things like that. It became a little bit tricky to work with occasionally. And the other thing that was difficult with Project E, now that it exists, which makes it even more powerful than E2 was back in the day, is the fact that almost everything has an EMC value because it dynamically calculates using the OR dictionary and all of that stuff. My mod does do that, but not using the OR dictionary, which means it doesn't have everything. So quite a lot of stuff would have to be manually set, which would mean that, you know, the one thing that made Project E powerful was the fact that everything had an EMC value. So you didn't have to do any work to make stuff. Whereas in TSON Craft, you do have to do a bit because not everything will have an energy value. So this energy has another purpose. So if I open my inventory and I pull out this nether furnace, nether plate former, and nether crusher, I can pop them down like so. There we are. And you know, they say energy stored on them. So I've just chosen the nether variant because the cave variants of these items, which is the tier 1 version essentially. So there's the cave version, the nether version, and the sky version. The sky version is effectively end, but it's called sky in my mod for whatever reasons. Just to move this back slightly. So these are basically the original cave versions of them don't always produce a result item essentially. Last time I checked, I may have changed that since then. I can't remember. Some things I don't remember what I did. So the way these work is you have to pop down energy nodes, which you make like this, and to make different types, you just replace the dust in the middle there. There's also a 4th tier of them, which requires dark matter. It makes 32, so they're not actually that much more expensive than the other types. So the way these work is you connect them like so to their location. And of course, that's why this has a facing direction, because it means it will connect energy nodes facing this way. So now the way these work is we need to put energy into it. So let's say we put something that has an energy value. Put 3 pieces of stone in or something like that. One. Of course, because of the way that computers do math using decimal places, these are all going to get like ridiculously long numbers on them, essentially, which is a bit annoying, but yeah, that's how it is. So if we put in, I'll put like a diamond in there because that's got a lot of value in it. Put 2 in. 1, you'll see that the energy is being transferred into these machines pretty quickly, actually. It's not instant, but it appears to be instant just because of how fast it does it. So the way these work is, so this is the furnace here. So what you want to do for this is right-click with the item you want to smelt, and it will consume it and produce an item. Yeah, so that's how that works, essentially. It just sort of chucks it out into the world. This is a very basic system. So this is the crusher. This will crush items. In fact, sorry, it's not actually working at the moment. I'm not sure why. Maybe it doesn't work with blocks. Let me check something here. Brain, please. Yeah. Let me see. What item can I crush? Iron? A tin ore. Okay, so that works. That's weird. Okay, that's a bit strange. So the crusher doesn't seem to be working at the moment properly. Oh well, I'll have to look at that later. So the crusher doesn't work properly at the moment, but the plate former does. Or not, apparently. Okay, so the plate former also doesn't work. What about if I try TSON Craft stuff? So copper ingots. Okay, so it makes copper. That's weird. Okay, interesting. So the plate former essentially will turn things into plates, which are used for these things, the machine casings, which are fairly useful stuff. And yeah, you can make bronze using copper and tin together. That makes bronze. You're going to need a couple of those at some point. So yes, that's what the basic energy system is within TSON Craft. This is very, very basics, what I like to call the magic-based energy system. So yeah, that's how that works. I'm just going to chuck that. Oh, I'm just going to pop everything into one of these, because I don't need this stuff anymore, while I go on to the next part of the tutorial. Well, not really tutorial, but mod spotlight sort of thing. And we now go on to the technological stage of things. Includes a couple of interesting things going on here. So first of all, we have a few ways of generating proper power. We have the solar panel, which requires 5 iron plates, a energy distributor, I think, yep, and 3 lapis lazuli blocks. So we know how to make the iron plates, and an energy distributor is made using lead plates, that's lead, and 3 blocks of redstone. You'll understand why that's expensive in the future. So a solar panel will plop down, and it looks like that in the world. And you right click on it, and you see it's generating power. If I said it's nighttime, I right click on it, it says it is night. If I set it to day, it's generating power. And if I set it to raining, it'll say weather is causing obstruction. So that's how that works. So this will generate power slowly. There's a thing here called an energy storage device, and this essentially can store about 10 times the amount of energy that one of these can. So the way this works is you want to pop down an energy pylon. So we need to get energy out of this into here. This is the output face on here. This one has 4 output faces in it. It doesn't have that texture on the bottom, but it can output from the bottom. So you connect energy pylons like so. So you pop it down like that. I'm going to need more, actually. I'll stack all these up to 64, I think, while I'm at it, because I'm probably going to use a few of them. And you pop them down like so, and then you can right-click on the one you want to start from, so the input one, and then you right-click where you want it to go. So, and then you'll see that it's now energy directly into this device here. So the other kind of energy generation is the solid fuel generator. I'll pop that down there. So the solid fuel generator works using solid fuels such as coal and things. So I put coal down, and I can then put it into here. You see it smelts it pretty quickly, but it will produce quite a bit of energy out of it, 160 energy. I think that's actually a fixed number, so I could be wrong. It's a fixed number, okay. So we'll connect this one up as well. So connect there to there. So an energy pylon can have more than one input connection, but it can't output to more than one location at a time. So I can't then connect this to here. It'll say it's already got a connection. However, I can hold my secondary effect key and right-click on the pylon, and what that does essentially is say, disconnect me from all of my outputs. So this is no longer sending power anywhere, essentially. But I can then reconnect it, and it will continue to send power. So what do we need this power for? Well, these three machines here, the crusher, the furnace, and the compactor. So, oh, and also the plate former, sorry. There's a plate former as well, which does work. I've tested this on. So the furnace, the crusher, the compactor, and we'll just pop the plate former there, I guess. So now we get to the issue. If a pylon can only have one connection on it, what use is it here in this scenario? Well, what you want is an energy distributor. Now this is a bit more advanced. So you pop down energy pylons. Oh yeah, probably should show you the recipe for energy pylons. Energy pylons are made using 2 iron plates and a block of redstone. It makes 2 of them. Much cheaper than energy distributors require 4 lead plates and 3 blocks of redstone. So the energy distributors work by the same way. You just click on them and then you click on the output connection. And as you can see on the electric crusher here, it's a nice lightning bolt to say it's got power in it. These obviously don't have because they haven't been powered yet. And that will actually go down as it runs out of power. So if I disconnect this one, and we now actually put some things in here. If we put some cobblestone, or some stone in fact, we'll do put a piece of stone in, you'll see that the bar goes down as it processes because it's running out of power. And all the recipes are here in JEI. I've added the integration for these. That shows you all the things it can do. All that stuff. It also shows you the ones for the other machines, the compactor and stuff. I still think this recipe is quite funny, how it turns glass panes into blocks of glass, which I think is quite a funny recipe. In case you want to undo something like that. It also does the same for planks into logs as well. But a useful part of this is turning snow into ice and then ice into packed ice, which is quite useful, as well as turning sticks into planks and sand into sandstone, and things like that. It's quite useful. So let's reconnect our crusher. In fact, actually, let me go on to this. So there are also advanced tiers of the pylons and distributors. So if we look at the pylon, we've got 2 iron plates and a block of emerald to make 2 of these. And the advanced energy distributor requires 4 lead plates and 3 blocks of emerald. So we'll break all of these now. May as well pop this down and pop advanced energy pylons. So the only difference in these is they transfer energy much faster, which is very useful when using distributors because they spread their power evenly between all of their connections. So as you'll be able to see in a second here, we're actually out of power, so we need to put more coal in. So it's a good chance to show off cave coal, which is essentially higher tier coal. So it has this tier, and this tier, which is the highest tier, and they're all upgraded like so. So I'll just put one of these and show you how long it lasts in here. It'll last a bit longer in a furnace, but as you'll see, here we go, it goes in there, and it's going to produce quite a bit of power for these devices. We'll watch the energy bar go up in this compactor here. So it goes up pretty slowly at the moment. But it's pretty cool at the same time, so I don't know. We'll get another solid fuel generator going. How's that doing? Connect a pylon. After that, you can actually connect a high energy pylon to a low energy pylon. I think that actually does still sort of work, despite the fact that that makes no sense. But I think it does work like that. But it will slow down once it hits this one. But it's fine because this one's just inputting directly into a machine, so not a big deal. So the furnace, obviously, we can just smelt this cobblestone back into smooth stone. The furnace is really quick, actually. compared to like the crusher. Where is it? Crusher. Crusher's the same speed. Never mind. That's incorrect. They are actually the same speed. And the plate former, you can put like iron and stuff into it, and it will make iron plates. Another thing you can do with these machines actually is you can put redstone into them. Yes, for early game powering. Plate former. I put plate former down, and I put redstone in there, and it fully charges it just once. And these machines can actually be punched out, but they take a little bit of a while, so if you don't want to do that, you can. So it's not like really easy to break them and lose all the power that's stored in them and so on, the energy. And of course, to switch the direction this is facing, you just press Z, you hold Z, and then right click on it, and it will turn it in the direction as per. It can only face in the horizontal axis, which is fine because these things have a range of like 10 blocks or something like that in any direction, so they're pretty good. So I think that is pretty much it. I know it's not actually. There's one more thing I haven't shown you yet to do with the magic stage, which is this wood catalyst and gold casing, as well as this. I haven't shown you anything to do with runestones yet, so let's get on with that. This is a small part of it. We need blank runestones, and we need cave dust of the 3 different colors. So what you want to do is set up like this wood catalyst and put a gold case in the middle, then right click in the middle with a cave dust. Now produce a runic tile, and a gold casing is made with 4 gold ingots like so, and it can actually be made with a compressed gold casing, which is made by 9 of these. So now that we have a runic tile, we can take 1 basic blank runestone and we can right click on the tile. It'll produce a runestone of nature, which does quite cool stuff. So it turns dirt into grass, and it will turn. Actually, I can't remember what else this one does. What else does it? I think it converts sand into things. I think it converts sand into dirt or something. No. I can't remember what the nature one does. It's something crap, probably. Something naturey. There's tier 2 versions of these runestones as well, which I should probably mention. I'll grab another piece of dust for each color, actually, so I can show you the tier 2 ones. So this works in the same way, or not, as it turns out. Interesting. Okay. Some things don't seem to be working properly at the moment. I will definitely have to look at that in the future. So we've got the cave dust, blue tier. That makes the rune of light. And what this one will do is it'll place torches down, which is pretty cool. Cool stuff. Yeah. So these are runic torches. If you break them, they don't drop anything. And they can be placed on the side of things, like so. Just hold shift, or in fact just place it on the side. If it's a machine, you have to hold shift so you don't open the GUI, but take iron plates out. These things are pretty cool. So that's how that one works. And then the final tier, which is appropriate because it's about to be nighttime, is the power tier, which, when used, will destroy itself instantly, but set it to daytime. Now, the tier 2 version of that one will just not use itself, but in fact, you can just hold the sun in place with it. So you can see it's trying to go up, and it's like, nope, come back down. So the tier 2 ones, though their recipe doesn't seem to be working properly at the moment. In fact, you can then make a master runestone of the elements, which requires a block of dark matter and all 3 of the runes. So if we pull that one out, it does all of the things that the other runes do in different orders. So if you hold Z, the secondary effect key, it will do what the rune of light does. If you right click normally, the rune of the power rune, the purple one does, pulls the sun back down. If you right click normally, it places a torch, and if you hold shift, it does what the rune of nature does. Plus, you can till land by holding shift. You get grass block, you can till it, and you can also you can then shift on dirt to turn it back into grass. Pretty cool. And of course, then you can place torches however you want, because things obviously won't let you do that. You can't place them on the machines, which is a downside of that, I suppose. So that is about it, actually, I'd say. Other than these battle axes, but they essentially just work like swords do and just do more damage. They just have 2 axe heads and 3 shaft, stone shaft ones. Oh yes, there's also this, the cave guide, which requires a sugarcane and a piece of dirt. This is probably the most important part of the mod, well, until I actually have full GAI integration. Or it has been very useful in the past, at least. So the way this works, you craft a sugarcane and a piece of dirt together. And instead of making this thing that you find in creative mode, and doesn't actually do anything, you get given this, a cave guide, which is a book, which has a whole bunch of stuff written in it, which is basically all the recipes you need. And this is just a pointless item that's just there to hold the recipe, so that you can see what you've got to do in order to craft it. So yeah, that is about it, I would say, for this mod spotlight, to be honest. I'd say, yeah, that's most of what's in the mod. Pretty much. Oh, and of course, the tools, the purple matter tools, the dark matter tools. I should show you these. Definitely, I can't remember whether these actually do anything. Okay, we'll just I'll put some stone down, just to give you an idea of the speed of these things. The sword does 42 damage, which is like a one-shot on Enderman. Yeah, just about. So the dark matter pickaxe has quite good speed. Yeah, it's pretty quick. Yeah, but it's not that great. And now we go to the purple matter pickaxe. Much faster. So purple matter pickaxe is definitely, though very expensive, I would consider it worth getting because of its intense speed and so on. I'd definitely go for the sword, which is even more expensive because it requires blocks of the stuff, but it's really good. So I quite like that. And that looks like it, other than that you can use this book to make spawn eggs for mobs. So you can make all the various ones using different items that are usually associated with them. Usually, except for this one, which is like silverfish, requires a cooked fish. I think the only reason I did that is because it's a fish and it's sort of silvery grey, so silverfish don't drop anything, so I thought, well, yeah, might as well go for that. And a zombie pigman is a cooked pork chop, whereas a normal pig is just a pork chop. Things like that. And the guardians are prismarine shards and things like that. So, yeah. And of course, you can make duplicates of the books, of the many different types, the 4 types, by using a written book. And this kind of book is essentially, it will encompass all the other 3 books, is the idea. So it can do all the recipes that the others can, including making craft tables and so on. So that's pretty much that. Yeah, so this has been a mod spotlight on TSON Craft, mod made by me. It's available on Curse. I will probably put a link on the description. This video will be embedded into Curse so that people can learn a bit about the mod and how it works and all that sort of stuff. Things like that. This is a mod for Minecraft 1.8.9, as you can see by these rabbits here. Such. Definitely work. They're definitely working, so that's all good. Yeah. Actually, there's something I would like to mention. This grass actually does work. So, like, if I pop it down like this, it will actually spread onto this dirt eventually. Sort of. It will take time, but it will get there. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this mod spotlight. I've really enjoyed developing TSON Craft, and I look forward to continuing to develop it in the future. And we'll probably fix the bugs that I picked up on within like the past couple of minutes. Well, within this spotlight. fairly soon, and probably will actually release those before this video comes out. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Okay, so I'm back to just talk about a few things that, after watching over my recording, I probably should have clarified at the time. So the crusher, the main purpose of it is to be an ore doubling mechanic. So it will produce metallic blends, so 2 per ore, and then you could smelt these up into ingot form, which is pretty useful. Another thing that I don't think people quite understood when I first introduced this mod was that these electric machines, well, once I first introduced the electric machines, was that these recipes that you see here for the crusher and so on, they carry over to these over here, these magic-based machines. So essentially, these have an electric machine counterpart. So the electric crusher is the electric counterpart of this crusher here. The plate former has this one as its electric counterpart. They have the same recipes. So that's how that works. So the plate former will form plates. The compactor obviously does its thing. This is an ore doubler. This is the furnace, of course. What else is there? Yeah, so this stuff is currently not working properly. I mean, the furnace is for some reason, nothing else is. I'm not really sure why this stuff isn't working, but I'll have this fixed probably before this video comes out. So, what's the date today? 13th of March. So, yeah, so around this video will hopefully go out today, and it will be up on the website today. And I think actually, if I look at this, I think the aluminium ore actually is breakable with a stone pickaxe. Yeah, so aluminium can be broken with a stone pickaxe. It's only lead and silver that can't be. They require an iron 1 or above. So that's another thing that I didn't actually mention. And I'll also fix the blank cave runestones from working as well, because apparently I hadn't fixed them either. I don't know how long that's been. And if we now go over back to the grass from the end of last time, you'll see that it has indeed actually spread. And it just spread then actually when I punched that horse. So that is actually working quite well actually. So yeah, that is, I think that clarifies most of what I picked up on that I didn't really actually talk about at the time. Oh yeah, another thing that exists. Yes, so when you're actually crafting table using the Book of Knowledge, if we take a wood catalyst to do this, it doesn't actually use up the Book of Knowledge. So the Book of Knowledge is what are known as container items, and that means they're not consumed when you use them in recipes, essentially. So you make one, and then obviously you'll upgrade it to tier 2 using another star, and then tier 3 when I eventually give a purpose to tier 3. Once that's all done, you'll be thinking to yourself, well, there you go, I've upgraded my stuff. So now we got 4 crafting tables. We've got quite a few. We've got bronze, aluminium, lead, silver, tin, and copper ingots there, which are pretty cool, I suppose. Yeah, so that's all the stuff in TSON Craft. I'll quickly show off some of the decorative blocks. I didn't actually do that. I'll just enter my inventory. See, just do that. Okay, got these. Right, sure, show you some of these. Quickly, some of the combinations I like to do is with this black brick and this light brick here. This light blue brick, something like this. Could look quite nice. Designs of some sort for like a wall or something. Like this sort of arrangement of stuff. Or even using purple instead of the blue there. We also have these hex bricks, which, yeah, they're kind of interesting. I don't like them that much. By comparison, they're based off the prismarine bricks that you find in places. There are also these grey ones, which I think look quite cool for roofing. It's with the stairs here. With the stairs down. I don't know. Yeah. So that's essentially what we've got here. Do that, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that good at art. So I'm definitely not good at building in Minecraft. So. And then of course we've got the these ones here, which are the glowing cave bricks, and they look a bit weird. Possibly. I don't know, it might fit in your design, I don't know. They sort of attach together, interestingly. They're not really bricks, they're sort of just sort of machiny, slightly magical looking wall things. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. The roof doesn't... Well, the roof does connect, but it doesn't connect with the sides, so... Strange one there. What else have we got? So all these decorative blocks, except for the hex, except for the glowing ones, have stair variants, which work like normal stairs, basically, and all that stuff. And I think, sure that is it in here. And there's also bacon, which is coal, flint and steel, and pork chop, which is essentially your early game food, because food can be a little bit tricky to get hold of. You can also make this cave jelly, which requires 2 cave dust, 2 sugar. Kind of a waste, I think, of cave dust, but yeah, it's worth having, I suppose. But this bacon is a reasonable recipe. It will use the flint and steel fully, but it's about as good as a cooked pork chop, but you get 4 of it, so it's pretty good actually in the early game. And yes, the fact that the wooden shears can only break like 4 blocks before breaking is intentional. They're not meant to be very good. They're meant to be useless, effectively. And the cave wrench is made using 3 pieces of iron and an iron gear, which is made using 4 iron cases, which is made by 8 iron. So it must be said. And the transmutation table is made like so, using a block of cave dust and these. Yes, so there are actually 3 tiers of transmutation table. So the way they work is the green one says you can only make things if the energy value stored in me is exactly the same as the item you're making. The blue says you can only make things if the energy value of the item you want to make is less than the energy value stored in me. And purple says as long as there's enough energy in here, that's fine. So essentially the blue will say if you're the same amount of energy I have stored in me, I won't let you make me. It must be less than the amount in there. So if I want to make a piece of stone, I have to have at least 2 in there before it will let me make one. I have to have 1 more, and it's fine, essentially. But this one will just say, yeah, you've got enough energy, go for it. That's how that works. I think I mentioned this, but when you're linking pylons together, or distributors, the wrench will start glowing. It actually says it has a power charge on level 0. That's just to get the glowing effect to actually happen. That means it's linked to something in the moment. You can actually, if you right click on something that isn't a pylon while holding your secondary effect key, it will clear the wrench and it'll say, no, stop connecting things. And you can also, once you've finished linking, it'll do the same. And you can also hold your secondary effect key while right clicking on a pylon or distributor, and it will clear all outgoing connections. What else can you do with this? Let's think. Once I've connected the wrench, there's something else I could do with this. Maybe not. I can't remember. Yeah, well, that's essentially it between those. And yeah, that's, I think, is pretty much everything I wanted to clarify. Things I didn't really mention too much in the video. I forgot to mention it, but I've mentioned it now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the mod spotlight. I hope you guys enjoy the mod, or at least check it out. I'd really appreciate it if you were to, if you find any bugs, to post them as comments in the on the mod page, either on Curse on the Curse Forge page. I'll probably link to Curse Forge because then I actually get notifications that I can read easily from there, rather than just sort of guessing when someone's put something up and just having a look to check it. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed the spotlight. I hope you guys check out the mod. Especially hope you guys enjoy the mod if you checked it out, or if you already have looked at it and weren't really sure what you were doing. I hope this spotlight has cleared things up for you somewhat as to what you are supposed to be, what you're supposed to do in the mod. Sure thing. So yeah, I'll see you guys in another video. Goodbye.